The 8 square at last. How glad I am to get here. And what is this on my head? Well, that is grand. I never expected I shall be a queen so soon. And I'll tell you what, Your Majesty, it will never do for you to be lolling about like that in the grass. Queens have to be dignified, you know. If I really am a queen, I shall be able to manage this quite well in time. Would you tell me, please?
Speak when you're spoken to.
But if everybody obeyed that rule, and if you only spoke when you were spoken to, and if the other person always waited for you to begin, then nobody would ever say anything, so that
Ridiculous! Now see here, child. What do you mean by if you really are a queen? What gives you the right to call yourself so? You can't be a queen until you've passed the proper examinations. And the sooner we begin, the better.
I'm sure I didn't mean to, and...
Oh, you ought to have meant. That's exactly what I complain of. What's the use of a child without any meaning? Even a joke has some meaning, and a child is more important than a joke, I hope. You couldn't deny that if you tried with both your hands.
I don't deny things with my hands.
Nobody ever said you did. I said you couldn't if you tried.
She's in that state of mind that she wants to deny something, only she doesn't know what to deny.
A nasty, vicious temper.
To have a party at all, but if there is to be one, I think I ought to be the one inviting the guests.
Well, we gave you the opportunity of doing so, but I dare say you haven't had many lessons in manners yet.
Manners are not taught in lessons. Lessons teach you how to do sums and things of that sort.
Can you do addition? What's, 1 and 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 1.
I don't know, I lost count.
She can't do addition. Try subtraction. Take 9 from 8.
9 from 8? I can't, you know.
She can't do subtraction. Can you do division? Divide a loaf by a knife. What's the answer to that?
Oh, it's bread and butter, of course. Oh, try another subtraction sum. Take a bone from a dog. What remains?
The bone wouldn't remain, of course, if I took it. And the dog wouldn't remain. It would come to bite me. And I'm sure I shouldn't remain.
Then you think nothing would remain?
I think that's the answer.
Wrong, as usual. The dog's temper would remain.
I don't see how...
Now, look here. The dog would lose its temper, wouldn't it?
Perhaps it would.
And then, when the dog went away, its temper would remain.
They might go different ways.
She can't do sums a bit.
Can you do sums?
I can do addition, if you give me enough time, but I can't do subtraction under any circumstances.
Of course you know your ABC.
To be sure, I do.
So do I. And I'll tell you a secret. I can read words of 1 letter. Isn't that grand? Oh, but don't be discouraged. You'll come to it in time.
Surely you can answer useful questions. How is bread made?
I know that. You take some flour.
Where do you pick the flower? In the garden or in the hedges?
Well, it isn't picked at all, you know. It's ground.
How many acres of ground? You mustn't leave out so many things.
Oh, she must be feverish after so much thinking. Fan her head!
You're right.
She's all right again now. languages. What's the French for fiddle-dee-dee?
Fiddle-dee-dee is not English.
I never said it was.
If you tell me what language fiddle-dee-dee is, I'll tell you the French for it.
Queens never make bargains.
I wish queens never ask questions.
Don't let us quarrel! What is the cause of lightning?
The cause of lightning is the thunder. No, I mean the other way.
It's too late to correct it. Once you've said a thing, that fixes it, and you must take the consequences.
Which reminds me, we had such a thunderstorm last Tuesday. I mean, one of the last set of Tuesdays, you know.
In our country, we only have one day at a time.
Well, that's a poor, thin way of doing things. Here, we have as many as 2 or 3 nights together. And in the winter, sometimes we take as many as 5 nights together. For warmth, you know.
Are 5 nights warmer than 1?
Oh, 5 times as warm, of course.
But they should be 5 times as cold by the same rule.
Just so. 5 times as warm and 5 times as cold. Just as I'm 5 times as rich as you are and 5 times as clever. And Humpty Dumpty saw it too. He came to the door with a corkscrew in his hand.
What did he want?
He said he would come in because he was looking for a hippopotamus, only there wasn't such a thing in the house that morning.
Is there generally?
Only on Thursdays.
Well, I know what he came for.
Oh, it was such a thunderstorm, you can't think!
She never could, you know.
It gave me such a fright I couldn't remember my own name.
I should never try to remember my name in the middle of an accident. What would be the use of it?
Your Majesty must excuse her. She means well, but she can't help saying foolish things as a general rule. She was never very well brought up. But look at how good-tempered she is. Oh, pat her head. See how pleased she'll be. A little kindness and putting her hair in papers would do wonders with her. I am so sleepy. She's tired, poor thing. Smooth her hair, lend her your nightcap, and sing her a soothing lullaby.
I don't have a nightcap with me, and I don't know any soothing lullaby.
I'll have to do it myself then. Flash a by lady in Alice's lap, till the feast's ready, we've time for a nap. When the feast's over, we'll go to the hall. The Red Queen, the White Queen, Alice and all. And now you know the words. You can just repeat them back to me. I'm getting sleepy too.
Wait. What am I to do now? I don't think it ever happened that anybody had to take care of 2 queens asleep at once. No, not in all the history of England. It couldn't, you know, because there never was more than 1 queen at a time. You wake up, you heavy things!